Hello everyone, my name is Pukar Dhital. I'm an English instructor and today we're covering Grade 5 English. We'll cover reading comprehension of the chapter talking about future. So let's begin the class. So as per this chapter here, chapter 4, and which is talking about future, let's observe this particular content. And the book describes it simply as ask and answer. You see, we just relate this question to the picture here, and it's just like a question and answer series. So we just relate these questions to the picture here, and it's more like a question and answer series. So for instance, it's more like a reading thing. So two of you in the classroom can stand up, one take the part of A and the other shall take the part of B, and you can just converse with one another. You can read aloud in front of the whole class. What are you going to do? See, what are you going to do? Again, remember the chapter name itself is talking about future. We're relating all the events to the future here. What are you going to do? I'm going to play badminton. See, a simple conversation. What will you do tomorrow? Again, future here. I'll visit my friend and play games. Will you go to Pokhara next week? No, I won't. I'll go there tonight. Will you go for swimming on Saturday? Yes, I will. I'll go there with my brother. And finally, are you going to sing a song in the so? No, I'm going to dance. Do bear in mind that often when you have an auxiliary is, am, are plus ing verb, ing form of verb, let's say, or before, okay? To simply put it as before, it's usually present continuous. But here, we often take, in this case, when we use going to, we mean it, we're talking about future plans here. That is why I'm going to dance. See, this is contraction. This means I am. When contracted becomes am. I'm going to dance, meaning is yet to dance somewhere in the future. So see, this is how the application of going to can be used in the future. Let's move further. Let's look at this chant. First, let's observe the picture here. And maybe you can do the same in the classroom and just chant the following poem. We've joined together as classmates as the new year begins. A year full of learning while we become friends. We'll share and be kind as we work and play. And our friendship will grow with each passing day. A simple chant. You can just follow me after I've chanted this particular short poem. Okay? Now let's look at the comprehension passage here. Now the title to this comprehension passage is Three Big Fish. See, perhaps we can relate this to the picture here. Observe the picture right away. Three big fish. Now, I just wanted to define what do you see in the picture. Well, in this case, it's not in the next page. What do you see in the picture below? Let's say, not next page. I'm going to cut next page. This is in the book. What do you see in the picture below? Now, irrespective of what is written in the passage, I just want you to, in your classroom, write around one paragraph just describing what do you see in the picture. Just write what you see in the picture here. In one paragraph, write what you see in the picture. And of course, it's not necessary that it has to match the passage. Whatever you observe here in this, and don't show it to your friend, make sure you do not discuss about this. Let ideas come from you after observing the picture. What do you see here? Perhaps this is water, they're all fish, and three fish are highlighted. And look at the expression. Don't forget the expression. They look somewhat scared or very surprised or startled. And then write at least one sentence describing what you see in the picture. Okay, so this perhaps you can do this as a homework, or rather I would suggest you to do this in the classroom. Now let's read the passage. Once upon a time there lived three big fish in a lake. They were friends quite unlike one another, meaning they all were different. All three were different. One was wise. He thought carefully about everything he did. Another was clever. He used his brain and found an answer to any problem. The third fish believed whatever was to happen would happen, and nobody could stop it. One day, the wise fish was leaping in the water. He heard a fisherman telling another, "Let's fish here tomorrow." On hearing this, the fish rushed to his friends and said, "Let's leave this lake. The canal here will take us to another lake." "I don't think I'll leave this place," said the clever fish. "If the fisherman comes, I shall find some way of saving myself." The third one said, "Why should I leave the place of my birth?" The wise fish left the lake through the canal. The fishermen came the next morning and cast their net. The two friends who had not left the lake were caught along with many other fish. The clever fish immediately pretended he was dead, meaning he acted like as if he was dead. The fishermen threw him back in the water and he swam away. See, a very clever fish. The third fish kept jumping up and down in the net until a fisherman killed him. Okay, rather a sad ending, but still it talks about three different friends. One was wise, one was clever, and one was the believer in providence, that whatever happens is unstoppable. It's bound to happen, and no one can help change it. And I wanted to analyze the story now. I wanted to interpret, summarize what I've just read or what you have understood. Right? You can talk to one another and share your findings, or share it, whatever you've understood. Now, look at these questions here. Remember, one question was left it earlier. The question was very simple. Remember, all the answers lies in the passages. All the answers lie in the passage here, right here in the passage. So I start with number 2. Why did the wise fish rush to his friends? Why do you think the wise fish rushed to his friends? We always take care of the tense when we answer it. Here, simple past did, meaning the verb that follows will be changed. Alright, so the wise fish rushed. See, we took this rushed to simple past, rushed by adding ed. Rushed to his friends. The wise fish rushed to his friends to warn them that the lake isn't safe and they should move to another lake. I'm going to continue here. And they should move to another lake. Here you go. See, the wise fish rushed to his friends to warn them that the lake isn't safe and they should move to another lake. Now let's look at these questions now. How many big fish were there in the lake? There were 3 big fish in a lake. Very simple, isn't it? Remember, all the answers lie right in the passage. In what way were the fish unlike one another? The fish, it's asking about in what way were all these 3 fish different than one another. In what way were they different? Okay, I'm going to answer number 2 here. Okay, the 2 answer. The fish were unlike one another, as one was wise. He thought carefully about everything he did. Another one was clever. One was clever. Now, in what way was he clever? Then he used his brain, and found a remedy to any problem. Finally, the third fish believed whatever was to happen. Let's continue in the next page. Would happen, and nobody could stop it. See, it's kind of lazy. I mean, you cannot rely on fate and leave everything. So the third fish was like that. Nobody could stop it. So in this manner, all these 3 fish were different. The fish were unlike one another, as one was wise. He thought carefully about everything he did. Another one was clever. He used his brain and found a remedy to any problem. Finally, the third fish believed whatever was to happen would happen, and nobody could stop it. See, in this way, 3 fish were different. Now, let's observe the next question. Who proposed that they should leave the lake? Of course, the wise fish proposed that they should leave the lake. How did the clever fish save itself? Remember, the answer lies in the bracket. You start from the clever fish. Remember, the verb is save here. Did is simple past, so take it to simple past. Add D here. The clever fish saved itself. How? You read the passage to get the answer. Okay, that's entirely up to you. Which fish did the fisherman kill? The fisherman, again, did is here. Alright, you add ed after kill. The fisherman killed the third fish. So among these 3 friends, the third fish sadly dies. So that's how you can do the question answers, which you obviously can do at home. Now let's move further. Now, I want you to observe this match the following that we have. Match the words with the meanings. So for this, you have to have a dictionary next to you. And then you can do the match the following. This would be your homework, all right? So, of course, you can go for digital dictionary. These days we have mobile or tablet or anything. You can use the digital dictionary and do this. Canal. So, what is canal? All right, what do you think is canal? And as you match the following, do not crisscross like this. Rather, you write here, canal. With the ruler, draw a straight line and write waterway. Okay, so in this manner, you can find the meaning of pretended, cost, unlike, wise, brain, and leaping. Okay, now this is in simple past form. Just look for the word pretend in the dictionary. Now let's move further. Now, word power. Where do we enjoy these holiday activities? Write them under suitable headings. So here we have what we call the options that we have. All right. Where do we enjoy these holiday? These are the holiday activities as per the heading. Okay, so these are the holiday activities, all inside this blue box, as you can see. And here you go. And these are the headings now. You see, beach mountains and lakes, and towns and cities. So now our task is to classify under which headings does these holiday activities fall, or under which headings do these holiday activities fall. Like swimming falls under beach, all right? Similarly, hey, how about skiing? Undoubtedly, skiing, you see, would be under mountains and lakes. Climbing definitely would be, again, mountain and lake. Climbing. Diving would be, obviously, in a beach. Sightseeing can be in the town and city. You can also take this here in mountains and lakes, by the way. Walking can be, hiking can be in mountains and lakes, but walking, let's put it under towns and cities. So this way, this activity can be done. Rest, jogging, rafting, visiting art galleries, and camping. Certainly, I know you can figure it out yourself. So let's move further. Now, this is again a reading task here, right? The activities that you most do. So this is one of the, before I begin this is one of the homework which you should be doing, all right? Write the activities that you mostly do in your house. What are the activities? It's more like a journal writing, all right? You can do it in a wonderful if-size paper. Do your journal along with the illustration, meaning draw what you've written and then show it to a teacher. It will look remarkable. Write the activities that you mostly do in your holidays. What are the activities that you do in your holidays? List those down and write a wonderful paragraph, couple of paragraphs on it. That would be your homework as a journal. Now look at this read and act section. Again, here it's one of you can take the role of Rima, the other one can take the role of Neera. And again, after you guys are done reading, the next person, the next student can take the role of Rima, and the other can take again the role of Rima. Read and act. Rima. Hi, Rima. Now here, it's not hi, Rima. Rima will say hi, Neera. Okay. Hi, Neera. How are you? You can correct that in a book as well. Rima says to Neera, hi, Neera. How are you? This is conversation practice. Okay. Neera, fine. I have not seen you for a week. Rima, actually, I was sick. Neera, really? Sorry to hear that. Where are you going now? Rima, I'm going to meet the head teacher. Says calls me in. Neera, are you free this evening? We're going to watch a movie. Rima, I'm afraid I'm not. Well, that means I'm not free. I'll visit my granny and I'll have to do shopping for her. Neera, that sounds interesting. Rima, see you later. Bye. Neera, bye. See, a wonderful conversation that's being carried out here. And what makes this conversation interesting is the use of word here. Very simple word. Like, for example, look at that. Sorry to hear that. Makes it look so formal. All right? And then she says, I'm afraid I'm not. See? This makes the conversation so wonderful, so formal. So you can use these words or phrases to make it look wonderful. When you hear something bad, you can say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm sorry to know about that. Okay? It does not mean that Rima is literally afraid, but it's just trying to imply that, oh, she's so sorry that she cannot join her friend Neera for a movie. That's why, oh, I'm afraid I'm not. See? This is how this can be done. Now let's move further. Now look at this. This is again one of the writing homework. All right? So this is again one of the writing homework. Now, read the plans of Mr. Deb for Saturday and write similar plans for yourself. So it's Mr. Deb's plan on Saturday, okay? And after reading this, you're making a plan for yourself. I want you to write a couple of paragraphs on it, all right? However, you can write a couple of paragraphs on it, just one paragraph here, but you can write a couple of paragraphs here. On Saturday, Mr. Deb is going to meet his friend in the morning. He will stay there for 2 hours. He will talk to him about his new business. After that, he will meet his secretary at 10:30. They will type some letters. He will take his lunch in Hilltop Restaurant. In the evening, he'll attend a party. He's going to meet many friends there. Now, when you write yourself, see, it's too short, but it gives you a brief idea of how it can be written. For us to give a title, of course, make sure that you write at least a couple of paragraphs and give a title to your work. All right. Okay. Saturday plan, let's say, or maybe there are some wonderful plans. Or cricket plan, you plan to play cricket, or study time, you want to study the whole day, or library time, you want to pay a visit to a library, you want to go to a library. It could be anything. Provide a title and then begin your journal. All right. So this is how this writing task can be done. So this you can do it as a homework, and also those preceding writings and exercises which you can do as homework. Thank you very much, and if you have any queries, feel free to email us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you so much.